She'd been sailing for 19 and 5/8 days, past glaciers of melted plastic, through fields of green, glowing ice that burned her eyes. She had seen no other living soul upon the water. She hoped it would stay that way. She would have sailed right past the tower and never once looked back. But, as it was, life intervened. And that was all it took to change everything. To change the entire world. Well, at least what was left of it.
What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing. To all the returning viewers, thank you. Newer viewers, future viewers, also thank you so much for stopping by. It really means a lot to us here at the channel. Only together can we go straight to the moon, baby. We're almost at another milestone of 300 subscribers. So if we earn that subscription today, you hit that red subscribe bar down below. And I'll be doing a little grab bag of comic books once we hit that milestone to a random subscriber. But today we're going to be getting into a comic book by the series by the name of Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. This is going to be issue 10. This is part of book 2, called The Rise and Fall of Golganoza, and this is chapter 5, called The Beast and Me. Written by Jason Aaron, illustrated by Leila DeLuca. Tamara Bonvillain is the colorist. The flash forward scenes to the future in this issue are done by Nick Dragata as the illustrator, Enrico Renzi as the colorist. And for this particular issue cover, Yannick Paquette and Matt Lopes are the artists. And this is kind of the first foil type of cover I've gotten in a while. I thought it looked nice, and just the shimmer of it off of the light is really nice. I try not to. I should be touching these with more of a glove, I guess, right? But if you remember, Esmeralda and Meso started Golganoza as the city of love, and they had many friends, new friends stop by once they found the little widgets that Maceo would make as a map to Golganoza. And things are going really great. Everyone was, doing their thing, man. Trying to learn new skills. A lot of sex going on. It kind of was like a groovy type of town, I guess, in a way of, the way I look at it is that they lived in such a horrible condition that anything to make them feel better, they're going to do. And if that means having promiscuous sex with multiple partners, listen, they're all consenting in the book, so it wasn't like there was any thing that wasn't consenting. But I'm kind of just an old man about it. It's like, geez, relax a little bit, you know what I mean? But here they're dealing with the downfall of this thermal mist that seems to be making people lose their mind. And here we get the birth of the generator that they can use to harness the thermal energy there, which is fine. And then we get into day 1299, where Maceo is trying to figure out how to get the engine going again. Now, if you remember last issue, when Maceo and Esmeralda had a confrontation with each other, kind of like a blowout, they seen each other as monsters, but we as the audience seen that they were not affected by anything with this mist on a physical standpoint. But it seems that maybe there's some mental things that happen with this, because they never really explain what the mist was or how or why it affected people. It just did. And here we see Maceo going through all the areas that Esmeralda went through last issue, trying to find the monster, right? And here they are back at the headquarters as Maceo is looking for the monster, looking for a way to do the engine. Esmeralda is looking for the monster, and they're still very distant from each other when it comes to this whole not being on the same page. Here, we see that they're kind of fighting each other, but they're not realizing they're fighting each other. They keep calling the other one the beast, the monster, and that's how they look at each other in a way. This is how they're viewing each other. And ultimately, what winds up happening is that no one really wins. There seems to be some sort of explosion that happens. And here we see Maceo and Esmeralda basically on two opposing sides of this big rift. So what might have been happening, in my opinion, is that they were on a fault line, and they were that deep down there was tremors that were releasing things that we normally wouldn't be breathing in or anything like that. So I'm assuming maybe that's what it is, on why the mist affected the people mentally, because we see that it didn't affect them physically. And this is no more a better representation than they can do with how they feel about each other at this current time in their relationship. They thought that they were going to be together forever. They made something beautiful. They were making love everywhere, as Esmeralda would call it. And really, it makes me feel like sometimes maybe you do have to set boundaries with certain things, and it shows that communication is key, because once we're in a relationship and we think that we can do it on our own, then that's kind of where the problem lies, because you're supposed to be working as a team, and each one is thinking that they can be the hero, and they wind up only facing each other and causing a greater divide in their relationship. So much so that they kind of look at each other like, Maceo lost a hand. Yeah, he's got something sticking out of him. She's been, stuck a few times. And then they realize they were the monsters that they were hunting for. And to be honest with you, that's kind of where they left it at that point. They just went their own ways. Then we fast forward to the future, where the old man Maceo and old man Esmeralda, and I'm assuming that this is the first time they met in person since then, because the way they talk to each other, it's still not very friendly. Maceo thinks that she sent those monsters from issues 1 through 5. That's the last page of the panel of the comic book. Because they kept bringing up about the Rangers and Golganoza, which I'm very curious about how they would know that stuff. My theory is that those were people who lived at Golganoza at one point and were captured and trained to kill Maceo and Esmeralda as a revenge. The only people that could do that to have the motivation maybe is the original Wasteland Rangers. So we're going to probably see some form of combination of something from the first story arc to the second story arc to end the third story arc. And we'll see if there's any love left between Esmeralda and Maceo in the next 5 issues, because they'll be concentrating on the future, like their old people selves. We'll probably get a little bit on what they've been doing the last however many decades out there. And that's really about it, all I have for this issue. I'm just a little disappointed that there wasn't any real explanation on why people were acting, why was the mist affecting these people the way it was. And that the fact that they were so, hey, listen, we opened, they were so in love, so in it, that we're not realizing that we're causing more harm than good. But man, they really might have went a long way without talking to each other, and that's how you really build up a lot of baggage, so to speak. So we'll see how that baggage plays out with our two lovebirds, no, ex-lovebirds, right? But you let me know down below what you think of this series. Are you excited about the last chapter, the last 5 issues of this series? I'm kind of curious now, even though I had a little bit of complaint with this issue. I'd really like to see where it ends up, where they wind up being at in their lives, and how the world looks with them or without them. But until next time, peace, Snookums.